What's up, everybody? This is Jose from Southern Life. On today's video, we're going to be looking at the top 10 best places to live in the Tampa area. That's right, we're in Hillsborough County, the 813. But notice that I said the Tampa area. What exactly is the Tampa area? It's a pretty good question. For the sake of this video, we're talking about the area within about a 1 hour drive to Tampa. That includes places like Sarasota and Spring Hill and as far east as Lakeland. Both St. Pete Beach and Clearwater Beach are amazing reasons to live in the Tampa Bay area, as well as warm weather and awesome tropical vibes. There's a lot of reason people want to live in Tampa. But where exactly are the best places to live? Number one is the Bayshore area, just to the southwest of downtown. This puts you right in the middle of the Tampa Bay Metropolitan area, but in these residential neighborhoods where houses can approach $5 million, you are barely going to be crossing paths with any of the inner city undesirable aspects like congestion and proximity to high crime areas. This is really a secluded area where small restaurants and families and really hardworking people are right in the heart of the Tampa area. Living in these beautiful historic neighborhoods will give you the opportunity to be very close to downtown Tampa, but also easy access to highways in case you're going to the beaches or traveling throughout the metropolitan area. It is conveniently located in the center of town, but without inner city problems. Number two is Lakewood Ranch, located to the east of Bradenton. This area right outside of Sarasota is a soulless suburban area, but if you look at the restaurants you'll find here and the easy access to Interstate 75, 45 minutes from beaches, and a new clean suburban area with very little crime and lots of things to do, particularly dining and shopping, then everything you need is located right here in this somewhat soulless suburban area. Considered one of the best places to live in the United States. Dog at Starbucks right there.
I told you could get a cappuccino. I told you.
By people and magazines who probably have some type of monetary gain by saying that, this really is a nice area with good weather, far enough inland to where you don't have to worry about hurricanes, and there's a lot of nature heading towards the east, towards the Mayaka River area. There's also elephant parks and all types of things for the kids to do, so if you like nature, it's a good place. Moving on to number three. Davis Island is just to the south of downtown Tampa. Somewhat secluded by its geographical location, this is the home site of celebrities and other wealthy people who want to live right outside of Tampa but still have that secluded feel you get from living on an island.
I'm an Irish girl from Michigan. I'm gonna eat key lime pie. Gonna get Starbucks cups. I'm an Irish girl from Michigan. I'm gonna get so sunburnt.
You're going to find nothing but magnificent private homes here. A lot of them are going to have water access with beautiful architecture, tall palm trees, and lots of access to the water. This is definitely an exclusive place where money will buy you access to many comforts. You know, you should start eating healthy.
Jose, this is your first salad in years.
So, now that I started eating healthy, I think other people start eating healthy too. Despite the fact being a small geographical area, you have your own airport, your own yacht club, and also your own hospital. Like everything you would need is here, even though it's like for few people. It's great. Moving on to number four, Tierra Verde, which is probably Spanish for Greenland. This is an island just to the south of St. Pete, which will give you access to places like Fort DeSoto, St. Pete Beach, the Skyway Bridge. This is an exclusive little island with nothing but fancy houses and other rich people crap to do. If you want to be in a secluded place right outside of St. Petersburg, this could be the place for you if you can afford it. And if you can't afford it, tough break. End up in University or Temple Terrace or like Suitcase City, son. This is for rich people. Depart from me, you peasant. Nestled between sand, beaches, and open water, this island is just waiting for a Category 5 hurricane. Definitely one of the most exclusive addresses within the Tampa Bay area, and practically in the place a hurricane will probably make landfall one day. Easy access to downtown St. Pete as well. Number 5 is Dunedin, not to be confused with Dunedin. This is just north of Clearwater. You'll have easy access to Clearwater Beach and other beaches that are considered some of the best in the entire state of Florida. This little area is known for having some of the best vibes, chill atmosphere, just a great ambiance where antique cars, palm trees, and smiling people are out and about walking and enjoying life. If you want to live in Florida, specifically Snowbird, or come down here seasonally, this should be towards the top of your list.
For the most part, people in the Clearwater area don't seem to have a stick up there.
Happy, friendly people enjoying life, beautiful tall palm trees, somewhat of a rolling hill type of area, very relaxing place to live. And down 19 it goes to crap.
Well, if you really like folks that think their poop don't tank, number 6 is Anna Maria Island. We're located right outside of Bradenton. Now, if you ever been to Bradenton, traffic out here sucks. I don't even know how this crap made it on this list. Well, they got fancy fishing piers, fancy parks, people out there think their poop don't stink, electric vehicles running on down the road. And these folks will ride a dang bicycle down the middle of the road on a hot day. You're probably wondering how the crap are these folks out here. It's 100 degrees out here, humidity's past 100. And they're out there skateboarding, trapping down there. I tell you what, these them people out there by the beach think their poop don't stink because they live some fancy island down there. Well, if you want to live right outside of Sarasota, you can really got that kind of money. I don't want to tell you much down there, but yeah, I guess you could, I guess.
All right, moving on to number 7, South Tampa. Now, West Tampa's the hood. North Tampa is definitely the hood, and East Tampa is definitely the hood too. But somehow, South Tampa is like, hold on, y'all. We're classy over here. Not too many city neighborhoods in Tampa are going to make this list because most of them are straight up thuggin', dog. But South Tampa still has a little bit of class. You're still close to Bayside or Bayshore, whatever crap they call it. You're still close to Hyde Park and all them fancy places down there. You're not too far from downtown. You're surrounded by water. There's great little restaurants. Some of the best Cuban sandwiches you'll have in Tampa area can be found right here. There's also a lot of diversity of restaurants. We found barbecue, American. There's like a real good like mix of different restaurants, but this area is definitely known for their Cuban sandwiches. So if you really want to soak in the real Tampa and not get robbed at a gas station at midnight, then South Tampa's for you. Moving on to number 8, the Sarasota area. Places like Longboat Key, Siesta Key, and some neighborhoods within Sarasota are great places to be if you want to be right outside of Tampa, easy access to beaches. But you're pushing at almost an hour to downtown Tampa, especially with traffic. So it's right on the edge of the Tampa area, but it's still a great place to consider if you don't mind a very long commute into Tampa, or if you're retired and are just looking for those beach vibes and don't want to deal with too much inner city crap, aka the hood, dawg. And it's really sad that on this list, we've had to bypass so much the city of Tampa itself. The Tampa Bay area in general is a great place to be, but the city of Tampa and even most of St. Petersburg, there's a lot of crime, a lot of inner city stuff, and it's just so much homelessness and problems that a lot of people are actually going further out just so they don't end up in that mess. Number 9 is Wesley Chapel and Pebble Creek. These soulless suburbs to the northeast of Tampa are safe, clean, beautiful places. One of the biggest hassles about the Tampa Bay area is the commute times and the traffic jams. And Wesley Chapel is kind of like in a sweet spot where you're not heading too far north or getting caught on 52 or any of these other roads further out. It's suburban, but it's not way too far out. You don't have to drive through most of the mess. You can just drive out of Tampa and kind of like land in this nice suburban area. There's not much you can say about the character of these places. I mean, these are mostly gated communities, shopping centers, and just kind of like I said, pretty much soulless suburban areas, but they are safe, they are clean, and they're not too far out to where it's conveniently located close enough, but not too close. That is your average suburban place in America. What could you possibly say about it? Number 10 is Northeast St. Petersburg. As we know, St. Pete has one of the largest downtowns in Florida with the most restaurants and things to do. St. Pete Beach, Clearwater Beach, attractive locations. But the city core of St. Petersburg is kind of an older city with a lot of inner city problems. And if you're able to afford the northeast corner, you can find yourself in a nice kind of ritzy area. You're still close to downtown and beaches and all the other things, but it's mostly secluded out here. There aren't too many gated communities. It's kind of like an open city grid pattern, but there's streets that are trafficked much less. There's a few preserves and parks and green areas, so even though you're right in the heart of a large urban core, it doesn't really feel like it. There's enough green spaces and enough natural areas to where it feels a little bit more like a small town. Good vibes heading into St. Pete as well. You should enjoy this area if you can afford to live in one of the top 10 best places in the Tampa area. Known for beaches, good weather, amazing sports teams, the Tampa area is really a great place to live if you can end up in a nice exclusive community, because for the most part, much of the urban core is just straight up the hood, dog. So if you can afford to live in Tampa Bay and not in the 813, you know what I'm saying? Like there's a lot of bad with the Tampa area. And I must emphasize that, you know, if you're moving to the Tampa area, not everything here is perfect. There's a lot of traffic. There's not really like horrendous crime like you'd find in like Atlanta or Baltimore or something like that. You know, there's also a lot of good areas like Sun City Center, which are even further to the south. But these areas are so soulless. Riverview, Sun City Center, these areas are soulless. If you really want a lot of character, I would definitely recommend that BAYSHORE area or the communities that I mentioned in the northeast side of St. Pete. These are areas that have just bigger oak trees, more character. You'll see a lot of beautiful historic homes in the St. Petersburg area and in South Tampa. These are beautiful places that have a lot of character. And Tampa, really, one of the best pluses of Tampa is how much personality and character the city has. It has a very strong identity. But for the average person who lives in Tampa, you're dealing with a lot of homelessness, a lot of fraud, a lot of scamming type people, and some horrendous traffic. So you have to understand that there's really a difference between the best neighborhoods and just a mediocre life.
He ain't crap.
He ain't crap. Crackheads over there, they do all day.
Yeah.
And they get mad when people don't give them money. I'm not getting it.
Yeah.
He buys $20 rock.
And if you're moving to Tampa as a big city, it doesn't really offer a lot of opportunity for like the regular person, but it offers a lot of opportunity to people that just are a little bit further ahead economically. And that's a weird thing that can be said about most of Florida. If you're looking for more opportunity, I think Orlando has more of that for the average working class person, but rents in the Orlando area are starting to get ridiculous. I would say if you can afford to get into the 10 areas that we talked about in this video, you'll love to live in the Tampa area. But if you're just a regular person and you end up in an inner city neighborhood, Tampa may not be the most fun experience based on what I've heard. I just want to say, usually I do my research before I make this video, and I found another video by another creator, which I didn't agree with what he said, but I did like that he did a great video. He was very professional, and he was a realtor. Usually when I find these top 10 videos and they're made by realtors, they usually suck. But in the case of the video that I found, it was a guy that had like 3,000 subscribers, local Tampa realtor, but it was well put together. The guy seemed to have a great personality, and while I didn't agree with him 100% on everything he said, It was a well put together video, and I want to congratulate this dude about that. Being that the vast majority of the time, the videos that I find on these topics are horrendous, especially when they're coming from a realtor. Well, there it is, guys. Those are the top 10 best places to live in the Tampa area. If there's an area that you think should have made it on this list, or one that made the list but probably shouldn't have, let me hear your thoughts and opinions in the comments.